Hello, my fellow light workers, earth angels, and star seeds. This is Sarah. I would just like to do kind of an energy update, talk about some current ascension symptoms, and also just go over a couple things that my higher self has channeled through and just other things that have been brought into my energy space, however you want to explain that. So yeah, let's just go ahead and get started with the ascension symptoms. One that came on very abruptly for me, which is something I've never really had a problem with, was itchy skin. And so a couple weeks ago, all of a sudden I got a crazy rash on my chest. And I thought maybe because I'm allergic to fake jewelry, fake whatever, costume jewelry. And I was actually wearing one. And I wore it too long and I just figured, hey, maybe it was from that. Well, my entire body started itching, when it still is, like everywhere, off and on throughout the day, just itchy all over the place. I didn't change anything about my day-to-day routine. Laundry soap, body wash is all the same. So definitely an ascension symptom. And the way I look at it is every time one of these things happen to me, I'm like, oh, well, my skin must be undergoing some kind of change. So that's what I think is going on is, our skin is definitely changing. Could possibly be rejuvenating itself, healing itself. Something's definitely going on with the skin. Another thing I've noticed is more electricity, okay, in our physical day-to-day life, like being able to actually notice how much electricity is around us. I was driving home the other day and then all of a sudden my hair was like sticking up, like when you take a balloon, and rub it on your head. That's how it felt. Like I touched my hair and it was sticking to me. It was just intense. I'm like, whoa. And then my whole body just felt different. Also, when you touch things and you get shocked, that's been happening just in my home constantly. My toddler touched me the other day and it almost burned me. It hurt so bad. I was like, whoa, that was pretty crazy. And it was hurting for like 10 minutes after that. So that's definitely something I've never experienced before. There's a lot of electricity. And every time this happens to me, I'll go look it up, on the Schumann resonance. And yep, there was some kind of boost in the Schumann resonance at the same time. So it's kind of cool. Also headaches. I've been noticing, when I get some kind of new download, upgrade, whatever you want to call that, a new thought, a channel, I'll get a weird headache in like one spot of my head. And it's very short. I've been noticing that a lot more often. And then the ringing in the ears, which I've heard a lot of other light workers have that, on a normal day-to-day basis, but that was something I never experienced. And then all of a sudden the other day, I was sitting here and like the sound in one of my ears just went out and it was just ringing for like a couple minutes. And I knew I was getting some kind of upgrade. Okay. So definitely noticing that. Also, time itself feels very different to me. Okay. My days feel a lot more dreamy, easygoing, just kind of like, I don't even, like I'm floating. But at the same time, I'm very grounded. I'm raising 2 toddlers. I clean my house. I have my normal day-to-day things, but they feel more dreamy and relaxing. Okay. Don't get me wrong. I have my moments. We all do. But overall, it feels more dreamy. And I've just noticed I've been forgetting dates and what day it is more often. And I've always been very good at that. I'm always the one that's early to certain events. Well, lately I've been forgetting that they were actually on a specific day. And I've missed a few, which was really upsetting for me because I don't like doing that. But I've just noticed time, I'm not keeping track of time as much as I used to. And not intentionally, it's just happening. And I see it in a lot of people, that aren't even conscious of what's going on with them. I've been seeing that. And then this next one is a pretty big one. This has been coming up. So it's like your body lately, or in the past few months even, has been telling you in abrupt and intense ways what we can no longer tolerate. So that came out a little weird. Anyway, so yeah, I've noticed it. So like, here's a good example. So casually, up until recently, I would drink alcohol here and there, with friends, whatever, just to have a good time. And I think it was 2 weeks ago. Yeah. I had a few drinks, didn't think anything of it. Everything was fine. Well, the next morning I woke up, literally felt like my physical vessel was shutting down, like dying. And I couldn't stop vomiting. My vision was going in and out, felt like I was passing out or going to pass out. I could hardly walk. I was like hunched over. Yeah, so it literally felt like I was just dying. And what I was hearing was, okay, this is it, Sarah. We can't mess around anymore. We're not even in moderation. Just no more for you. No more alcohol, okay? That's what I kept hearing. And, this could be different for everybody. It doesn't mean I'm telling you need to quit drinking alcohol. You need to listen to what your body is telling you always, okay? This whole process is different for everybody. But for me, yes, it was like, no more, okay? This process is speeding up. Your body is going to start telling you very abruptly and very intensely what you can and cannot have, okay? And this could be with food, drugs, medications, anything, okay? Anything that you are dealing with in your life, okay? But we're going through an intense cleansing and purging of certain things that we no longer need, and that's emotionally and physically. So that's definitely something I have been noticing. And going, to the next thing here is, you, at the same time that all this is going on, you can have a feeling of disconnect, like spiritual depression. That's something that's been talked about in the spiritual community lately, okay? And what I've been hearing, because I go through that as well and have been, but what I've been hearing consistently is it's time to rest. Even though we're doing so much, we're going through a huge change, at the same time, we're still kind of in the calm before this beautiful, amazing storm that's coming in energetically, this shift. So right now I'm definitely hearing this is the calm before a beautiful storm. And it's time to rest and rejuvenate, because what's coming next is going to be even more intense, and Spirit wants us to be ready for this. So we're being given these shifts and these upgrades in small doses, enough that we can handle, so it doesn't overload our entire system here, if that makes sense. So yeah, I just keep hearing it's time to rest, take it easy, and be easy on yourself. Another thing, to keep in mind is, as a light worker, we transmute the negative energy around us. We're kind of like a filter. So I've noticed some people moving from where they live because they don't like the energy there. It's negative. And if you're feeling pulled to do that, then that's great. Listen to your intuition and follow that. That's always your best guide. But it is important to keep in mind that, I feel like light workers are specifically placed where they're at, and most of the time in environments of negative energy, because they're like a pillar. They're a pillar of light that supports everybody around them and transmutes that energy. Because, I live in Shasta County, which is, on the list of one of the most dangerous cities in the nation. We also have a huge drug problem here. And don't get me wrong, I've thought about moving. I'd love to live in Mount Shasta or Oregon, or, I'm kind of a woodsy kind of girl, so I would really enjoy that. But at the same time, I feel this, intense pull inside of me that I need to stay where I'm at least for a little bit longer, because I do help transmute that energy. So if you feel like you're not doing any type of work where you're at, you're not being productive, just keep in mind you are, whether you know it or not. You are transmuting this energy for the earth, okay? And that can take a lot out of you. And it is hard. So I understand if people want to leave and go somewhere where the energy is a lot lighter or more quiet. But I feel fulfilled knowing that just by being in a space of negative energy, you're helping others, you're helping lift the planet and other people around you to higher vibrations, okay? And it's also important to not try and escape your own negative emotions, because everything plays an important part in this process. So you can't have the dark without the light. You can't have the good without the bad. Everything is perfectly orchestrated the way it's supposed to be. And instead of pushing negative emotions or people out, show love. Send love to everything that you possibly can, because love is the most powerful energy that you can use. And things that are negative or dark, really, they are just crying out for love. It's just like a child that, has behavioral problems, okay, and it expresses itself in different ways, or they have sadness, depression, and they express it in different ways. And really, it's just a cry for love. It's a cry for help and love. It's the same with your own negative emotions. It's the same with everybody around you. Everything just needs love. So just something to definitely keep in mind, okay? And then let's see. What else was I going to talk about here? Oh, yes. Okay, this was something that was brought up because my husband and I were talking about a child who could remember detailed memories of his past life. I'm talking like took people to where his body was buried. Yeah, you might have heard that story. There's a lot of different stories. But anyway, my husband asked, how is that possible if your brain is what stores your memories and that physical body died and he's in a new physical body? How would he remember that? Well, my higher self came in and channeled it. And even after it was done, I'm like, oh, well, that makes sense. Like, I didn't even know that. I didn't realize that. So that happens to me a lot. I'll just start talking and it's my higher self talking. So this is what I picked up basically. Your Akashic record and your soul's memories are always carried with your soul. They always stay with your soul. And when your soul comes into a physical body, it meshes with your DNA. Okay? It meshes with your DNA. So what's called junk DNA is absolutely not junk DNA. It's just something they can't explain. Scientists can't explain. Nothing in our body is junk. Nothing in our body does not serve a purpose. Like I said before, everything is perfectly created and perfectly orchestrated. Okay? So your soul comes in and meshes with your DNA and your brain processes those memories. So that portion of your brain where scientists say memories are stored is what processes your soul's memories, basically. And there could very well be a portion in your brain where certain memories are stored, right? Like learning to speak, learning to certain abilities that we have that we need as a physical human being. Okay, I don't know exactly how that works, but I know your soul's memories and your Akashic record is always with your soul. It meshes with your DNA, and then your brain processes those memories into a physical image or into a way, so we can express it, basically. So it's like your soul is the hard drive and your brain is the computer that processes it. Okay? I hope that made sense. It came to me as more of a vision as well. So that's kind of what I got from that. So that was just something that came up. Another thing I would like to just, if anyone's struggling with this, the new age stereotypes, right? The lightworker stereotypes. And yes, there are some of those, okay? You do not have to follow new age stereotypes, okay? So it's like, just do what feels right to you. Don't beat yourself beat yourself up if you aren't doing what you see other ascended beings or people in the process of ascending are doing. So if you're not a complete vegan, whatever, okay, you're totally doing exactly what you need to be doing, and don't beat yourself up over it. If you're not meditating on a daily basis, all those things that I feel like have become kind of really important in this community. It's like, especially being vegan or just a lot of those things. I don't really know how to put it into words. But the important thing is you're doing what's best for you. Listen to your intuition. Nobody is the same, and none of us are going to be the same. We're not going to be doing the same things, okay? We all meditate in different ways. You don't have to sit down, close your eyes, and, meditate all the time. That's very hard for some people, and it's hard for me as well. I have 2 toddlers. I am busy throughout the day. I try to do my best to take time, take deep breaths, go within, okay? But it doesn't always happen that way. Spirit finds a way to give you the information you need. It's always going to happen. So don't stress if you're not, if you feel like you're behind in this process. You're not. Nobody's behind. You're exactly where you need to be. I do a lot of my work while I'm sleeping because I think Spirit knows I got a lot going on during the day. And so when I'm sleeping, I do a lot of my work. Okay, I wake up exhausted sometimes when I had a perfectly good night's sleep because I know I'll wake up and be like, dang, I must have been busy last night, right? So Spirit always finds a way to give you the information that you need, and you're doing exactly what you're supposed to be doing. It's all the process, okay? So just because certain people say, oh, you shouldn't be eating that, it's not good for your light body, or it's not, whatever. I still drink Diet Pepsis every day, and they're absolutely horrible, okay? But I try to drink as much water as I can as well. I try to eat healthy. I consciously try to do things that are better for me, but if I don't every single day, I'm not going to beat myself up, okay? There's so much relief that comes when you just surrender to the process and say, I'm just listening to what my body wants. I'm just going with the flow, okay? You can't really do wrong in this situation. And people make it a lot more difficult than it needs to be. This ascension process is a natural, simple process, and it doesn't have to be difficult. It's going to happen regardless, and there shouldn't be any forceful energy to it. Trying to manifest things, trying hard to change things. If you want to do that, that's fine. There's beauty in everything. You can't go wrong, honestly. But I'm just here to say, you don't have to stress so much over it. It's easy. Just relax and enjoy the ride. This is a beautiful, magnificent time, you guys. This is what we've been waiting for. We're so incredibly blessed to be here right now, to witness this in a physical body. This is something everyone says is impossible, and it's not. We are manifesting heaven on earth, and we're watching it happen. So just enjoy the ride, relax, connect with others that are going through this same thing, and that's what this is about, is just being happy, being, excited for what's going on, because it's incredible. And definitely right now, I keep hearing, though, it's time to rest, okay? There's something enormous coming, some kind of big shift, and it's going to manifest differently for everybody, okay? So people that aren't consciously awake right now, I don't know how exactly that's going to play out for them. Nobody does. I don't care what they say. We don't know, okay? We only know what we're feeling, and it's different for every single person. So you know what's best for you. But it's exciting, and not knowing exactly what's going to happen is exciting as well. It's like, surprise, So I just want to thank everybody for all the beautiful light work that you're doing. I am so excited to see so many people coming out into the community and discussing these things and feeling open about them, not feeling afraid to share this. It was taboo for so long. and it's not anymore. And I'm just so excited. So I thank you guys so much for everything that you're doing. And yeah, let me know if you have any questions, comments, whatever. I really want to connect with everybody at right now, So thank you guys. I love you. Hope you have amazing holidays the rest of your month, and be ready for what's coming, because it's coming. Okay. And it's exciting. Okay. That's it. Thank you so much for listening. Bye.